felt it was a war machine. The aliens were weapons.
Ridley always used my book as the Bible of the whole film, you know. He said like that, and it always was in my book. So my whole biomechanic style came into that, and they still work in this biomechanic style.
Ridley's fear and his horror of what the movie might be tarred with at the end was, I do not want to make a film about a man in a rubber suit. I was allotted the task of casting to try and find somebody of fairly unique body proportions.
Balaji was, I think, close to 7, maybe 6'8", 6'9". Somebody saw him in a pub with a pint in a, you know, tweed jacket and tie, and so they went over to him and said, hey, do you want to be in the movies? And I think he obviously gave the officer a retort. And of course his whole body, like Masai or Samburu, was very, very slender. And he was just thrilled to come into this process. And although I don't think he realized the agony that he was going to be in for when he's trying to fit it into the suit and carrying the head, which was actually, whilst it was light, it was still heavy.
He sculpted the first model out of bones and clay and God knows what else.
I always remember as he walked in there, the creature standing there, it would make you jump. You'd go, involuntarily. It was so frightening. This great big black thing towering over you as you walk in. It was then, you know, it was incredible, incredibly effective.
He wanted to have a tail because a tail can make a lot of movements.
I loved what I call the jelly bag. I always thought the head should be like aspic. You know what I mean by aspic? It should be like an aspic, which in itself was an eye. Whether the alien could see or whether the alien could simply sense like an insect, I didn't ever have to answer that question.
Ridley always said, I have to play with. I need that I can play with these several things. I mean, like the expression. He showed me first time how you do make it with very simple things with latex pieces from contraceptives, making lips or whatever, and changing expression, showing 2 teeth like you have drawn it. So I had it drawn already, but he said you really have to do it like that.
Of course, a person we shouldn't forget is Carlo Rambaldi, who actually built the mechanism to make it work and make the jaw work, and the interlocking jaw within the jaw.
It's truly a collaboration of everyone. It was Ridley, it wasn't all Giger, it wasn't all Ridley, it was both. It was Dan, it was the concept. Everyone worked together. It was just beautifully calculated to just scare the hell out of you every time.
What I particularly liked was the subtle way Ridley showed the alien. That was the thing that really got me, was how little we saw of it and how effective it was.
It's like the old shark. You don't want to see too much. You know, Jaws is great because you hardly see it.
What I always liked very much was this scene with the cat, you know, when the alien comes down. And Ridley always said, oh, don't give too much away in the beginning. No, don't give it away, and keep it for the... And it's like that. It's very rare, but I think the tension he did, that's really strong.
It always kind of interests me, too, in that everyone swears that the thing went through enormous changes, but of course it didn't, you know. People think it was very small in the beginning, which of course it was when it burst out of the chest. But after that, the creature was always the same size, but everyone swears it was getting larger, you know, or it looked entirely different in every shot, you know, but it really didn't.
I think the alien is, you know, I mean, the alien itself is the franchise, really. It's a powerful visual.
Years later, I finally realized what a strong film, and what the music and everything, how that was done. Just I felt what I was missing. A lot of scenes we worked on that was not seen, and that was a little unsatisfying.
Kill me.
What did it do? I'll get you out of here. I'll get you up to the shuttle. What can I do?
Mercy.
First of all, the scene was an explanation of the cycle of things and how and what had been happening to these people. It's a great scene because it's an emotional scene, but you know the film is on such a roll. The dynamics are really working at that point, and suddenly the whole thing stopped. Not because the scene wasn't interesting, but because the whole trajectory of the character at this point is to get out of there and get onto that shuttle and get out of Dodge. We took a big chance on showing the engines blast the alien.
We had these big, high-pressure water pipes with misting sprays.
When she put the thing into overdrive, the lights came on with the high-pressure hoses.
The water sprayed out, which made the lights much more intense.
The alien dropped out on its cable.
It's such an effective shot with the noise and everything else. It has real power to it, doesn't it?
The fact that we're talking about it here 20 years later, I think, is absolutely amazing. But I'm not surprised.
From the bottom of the pile, from the technician pile, right up to the top, there was definitely a buzz about the movie. We all knew we were making something special. It's a feeling that I've never known on a film since.
I'd actually promised myself that I would always go, no matter what. I would always go to the first night opening, which has got to be one of the most kind of incredible moments of my whole life. You know, even just thinking about it now, I can actually, my skin can actually creep to how enthusiastic it was kind of received.
When Harry Dean Stanton's going, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty,"